All right, we're back. The Aftermath boys are here. We have a sub in tonight. Chase couldn't make it, but we got my friend Sam, who's a expert when it comes to Survivor. He's seen
Eh,
every season, definitely knows ball, knows what we're talking about, and as you can see from his background, big Charlie fan.
Oh, huge Charlie, huge Taylor Swift fan. And I do have a theory for you.
Yeah,
Did Charlie purposely take a dive to let Donna Kelsey have some shine with her home renovation?
that's a
I don't
good
know if you've been paying
question.
attention to the
I
Donna Kelsey home renovations.
No, give me the
Or
full update. I thought you were going a trader's route with there, but give me
no,
the update on
you
that.
haven't been seeing that. TMZ's
No.
been all over the Donna Kelsey home renovations. It's been a huge story.
Yeah, I gotta keep up with my Kelsey family stuff. I'm a little jaded after they beat the crap out of my Ravens a few years ago, man. It's hard to get on board with the Kelseys, man. It kills me inside thinking about Lamar Jackson sitting on the sideline on the verge of tears. Is it
She's redoing her windows. That's what we got. We got someone correcting me in the chat.
what do we got here? She's redoing her windows. Thank you, KP. Also, KP, Rizzo. That's how I'm feeling after this episode, man. Rizzo took down Charlie. Charlie called his shot and he missed, man. You come at the king, you best not miss. Uh, we can get into the detail. Where do you want to start? You want to start with tribal? You want to start at the beginning? What are you feeling? What was the highlight of the episode for you?
Well, the highlight of the episode is the Warrior Alliance with all the nicknames.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Can we call it the Warrior Alliance? He said he was done with the D&D
Yeah,
references.
yeah. I don't know what we're calling it now, but
Yeah, he called himself the Tidewalker, which is
Tidewalker,
freaking sick.
which I
Another one.
did. I
Another
did do
one.
some research. That is his third nickname that he's given himself.
So what do we have? The Dragon Slayer.
South Pacific. Apparently, he called himself the Zen Slayer. So
Amongst the animals, Rizgod baby. Yeah, we're all Rizgod fans here tonight. So the Dragon Slayer, the Zen Slayer, and then the Tidewalker. Which one do you like best?
I mean, Dragon Slayer's got to be number one. That's the
Yeah,
tried and
Dragon
true
Slayer's goated,
classic.
man. It's hard for me to not pick Dragon Slayer just because of how funny it is. But man, Tidewalker is such a great nickname, man.
Tidewalker is a great nickname.
Yeah,
Like Zen Slayer is a very low bottom one for me.
I'm very into like Japanese culture on the low, so I respect the fact that he's going the like Japanese route with these nicknames. We have the Stone Bell, which I think he said that was like a monk or something,
Yeah,
right?
the Stone Bell Monk,
And then the
the Oakbound
Oakbound Warrior
Warrior.
for Colby, man. That's just so sick. That would be a life dream coming true for anyone playing Survivor to have Coach give you a nickname and genuinely pull you into his alliance. I can't
Oh,
think of anything that'll make me happier.
yeah. So I did look it up too. I was gonna have you power rank the nicknames he's given. So we got obviously we talked about the Stone Bell Monk, the Oakbound Warrior. We have the regular Warrior, the Wizard, and the assistant coach.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Before I get into that answer, I just want to answer KP's question here. Which is the best name? I think Oakbound Warrior is the best name. That just seems very strong. I don't know. I like that. Ranking the names you gave, I think I'm going assistant coach number one.
That's a good one.
Assistant coach one. Probably Oakbound Warrior two. I like the Dragon Slayer, I guess. Dragon Slayer. Or Wizard and Warrior probably at the bottom. I know they're epic from that season, but they're kind of simple. Dragon
Yeah.
Slayer is just so elite. Then probably Tidewalker, and then the Stone Bell. So in that order, I guess that was what, 7 names, right? 6, 7. Like, all right. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Dude, Coach is a freaking legend, man. What a great episode. Just from start to finish, great episode. We get conflict at the beginning. You get a salty Ozzy going back to camp, being like, I'm not okay. I'm pissed. And then he gives a faux handshake to Christian the next day, just kind of like make it up, but in reality, like he's holding a grudge. So that'll come back. And then we get a shot of Cochran right after that, shortly.
which I was a little pissed off. They should have brought him in for a reward challenge to have him be the reward, like they did in was it Game Changers?
Yep, Debbie.
Was it Debbie that won that too?
Deborah. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I love me some Cochran. Every time I think of Cochran, I just think about the incredible character arc he had, going from the like sunburned nerd to the guy who's like ripping beers with Eddie, and was it Reynolds on that season? Just what a guy. I would love to meet Cochran in real life. He seems so cool.
Yeah, and I feel like he's pretty like plugged out of Survivor. I haven't even really heard anything about Cochran in years, I feel like.
Yeah. I want to say he's like been to live shows with the Rob Has a Podcast crew, but I couldn't pull a location out of my head. So maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah, he got his million. He's living life. He's doing it right, man. I think he's a writer for TV shows too. So he's probably still making really good money, just living it up. Yeah. And then we had basically Steph, like, I don't know, man. They hinted at this, but she like said she's in the middle of that tribe. So like maybe that's kind of foreshadowing that she'll be like hopping between alliances when we get to this post-merge potentially. I don't know, but I feel like when they highlight stuff like that, they're kind of hinting at things. I don't know. Chase and I have talked about this a few times.
I don't really see her being someone who's gonna like I could see her. I think Ozzy's the only person on that tribe she would actually work with. I don't know if Ozzy is gonna work with her, would want to work with her crew. I think she's gonna be with Colby's gonna be her number one, obviously. She was not with Jonathan earlier. I'm sure her and Jonathan will hit it off. Coach, I'm sure she'll get along with. Joe, obviously.
Is there only like, is she the only like very much alpha woman on this season? Would you put D in that category too?
I could see her and D being in an alliance, but it doesn't seem like what we're getting from D is that much part of that. Like she wasn't included in the Warrior stuff, but I don't think they I don't think they're gonna butt heads.
Yeah, they could be a voting block potentially. I could see that happening. I just think Steph's gonna link up, like you said, with all of the like. What are we calling it? The Warrior Alliance? Do we have the Japanese Warrior Alliance? The season 50 Warrior Alliance? I don't think we have a formal name from Coach yet, but the Zen Alliance. I like you mentioned Zen earlier. I'll call it the Zen Alliance for the rest of the night. Mike T in the chat here, nice stash. I got to agree, man. I think you're killing it here.
Thank you, Mike T.
And then do you think Coach will unleash his full Dragon Slayer abilities at any point this season? I think the Dragon Slayer is potentially retired, man. We are in the Tidewalker era.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, we've seen the Dragon Slayer lose 3 times, so I think Tidewalker, he's got to go with that.
What are the key differences between the Tidewalker and the Dragon Slayer? Is the Tidewalker more of like a sly, a smooth assassin striking from the shadows?
I think he's just more honorable than the Dragon Slayer, to be honest.
Is that possible? Can you be more honorable than the OG Dragon Slayer?
I mean, I think if he was dishonorable with the Japanese themes, he would commit seppuku.
That would be fun to just see him like metaphorically fall on his sword and do the classic what was it, Q who said vote me out? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the Coach. Use the Q strategy.
The Tidewalker moves around obstacles and is himself. There we go. Who would win in a fight, 11 or the Tidewalker? Good question. I think I'm taking the Tidewalker. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't agree.
I didn't see season 5 of Stranger Things, so my wife told me he was terrible and not worth watching, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the hidden episode to be released for that show. Before
I heard that's coming soon. Yeah.
So I haven't watched the actual finale or the fake finale yet, but I'm gonna watch the real one when that comes out.
Another comment. I do think the knighting ceremony is a little different in medieval Japan than the motions that Tidewalker did for Joe and Colby. I would like to know more about the knighting in medieval Japan. Was it like more of a traditional like tapping on the shoulder? Maybe not. I mean, I think that's what Sam's hinting at here in the chat. I mean, who are you to say, man? Coach knows his stuff. Coach knows his history.
Coach has been to many countries, many cultures. I think he would know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure
he's not one to bullshit. Everything he says is the truth. So
exactly. Thank you, Sam. I'm glad that you understand it. The other Sam in the chat might not understand the depth of knowledge that Coach has here. Anyway, let's go to the what tribe is Jonathan on? The Orange tribe, I think. They kind of hinted at like a new era alliance at the beginning. Jonathan, Camilla, D, Charlie was what they originally said there. And they were trying to target Rizzo, and then D immediately like jumps over to Rizzo, and then Rizzo is like, "Yo, I got the Billie Eilish idol, and let's work together. I like women. I work with women. I'm not an alpha male, so I don't know, man. I'm a little worried that Rizzo and the girls are going to start targeting the fellas here. And you know me, I like my big dumb alpha males."
Wait, so who? It was Jonathan and Devins who were out of the vote, right?
I think it was Jonathan for sure, because he was looking really confused. Was it potentially Camilla? So we would have Rizzo, Suri, D for sure, and then I guess the last question mark is, was it Devins or Camilla? Yeah, it probably was Camilla then, right? Because he was talking with Camilla, and Camilla was kind of saying, "I could be the swing here." So yeah, I think you're right about that. It would be Jonathan and Devins left out.
Yeah, and so how many people are left? Is it merged next episode? I didn't watch the.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either because I was trying to take my dog out for a quick potty break before we started here, so I didn't catch the scenes from next episode either. Oops, I feel bad about that. I kind of rely on Chase for that each episode.
I don't think that tribe is going back to tribal council though. They haven't had any storyline set up besides the Rizzo versus Charlie one.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like another double elimination. We got 7.
There's going to be a bunch of
17 people left.
Holy shit.
That's right now.
So many people.
They're probably doing another double elimination in some capacity, and then it'll be 5-5-5 going into a merge. I would imagine 3 groups of 3, and then they do some type of a challenge where there's just like a mass casualty event, and then you're losing like maybe 3 people, 1 from each tribe, down to 12, and then you do a 5. There's the merge stories over there. Or we lose 1 next episode, and then we're in like 2 groups of 8, and then you lose maybe 2 on each tribe, and then you're down to what, 12 at that point? Is my math right? 11 at that point? 12. Yeah, 12. I don't know. KP, if you're in the chat, did you hear what the structure is for next episode? Let us know. But I think we probably have another round of eliminations and then some type of emergatory situation, whether that be 2 groups of 8, 2 groups of 7, 3 groups of 5. I don't know. What do you think structurally would make the most sense?
I could see them too if they do a single elimination. I could see them doing where 1 tribe wins and then 2 tribes go to tribal at the same time, kind of like a mini what they did Game Changers. Was it when
it was like a giant tribal Malcolm got eliminated? Yeah,
because JT told Brad where the vote was gonna go.
That would be fun, man. We haven't had anything like that in the new era. I would really appreciate a what do we call it? A mega tribal, a giga tribal. They feel like they do that a lot on Aussie Survivor. I've only seen 4 seasons of Aussie, so
I think they've done. I don't know. I know they recently, I think last week, they had teased it where they made it seem like both tribes were gonna go to tribal together, and then they had them do a fire making challenge, and the losing tribe had to vote someone out. So
was that an Aussie?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been keeping up with the live season, man. There's just too many episodes. Too many shows.
It's a great season. You should watch. Shout out to Simon, who did One
I
one of
love Simon.
the first week he Simon asked for someone's jacket, and I think it was the first episode even, he asked for the person's jacket and they gave it to him. So he did beat Angelina to the punch on that
Nice.
one.
After voting someone out.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. I love Simon. I love Simon. Uh,
He's the best.
he might be my favorite character in Aussie so far.
Yeah, he's my friend Corey. That's his favorite Aussie player. So you two would probably have a lot in common if you ever met him.
Shout out Corey. Sounds like a cool
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, so Corey definitely knows what's up. I would imagine Corey's also a fan of Rogue, another one of my favorite players in Aussie Survivor.
Oh, that huge Rogue guy.
Yeah, all right. One more comment I want to bring up here in chat. Actually, two comments. KP has been killing it tonight. It was Rizzo, Camilo, D, Suri, so we got that confirmation there. Thank you. Do you think D was naturally attracted to Rizzo's unforced alpha energy? Is that something we're overlooking? Is Charlie secretly like the biggest dick energy on the island? Or sorry, Rizzo?
Secretly? I think it's just obvious. He just exudes that energy.
Yeah, I mean that could be why all the women want to work with him. I mean, maybe we're sleeping on Rizzo's macho charisma.
Something I do want to say though, is there a chance that because obviously there was the short, or he didn't have any time, but I know D is friends with Sophie. I'm not sure if they knew each other before. So I don't know if she set them up and they kind of had a little bit of a pregame thing.
That's a good question. I mean, with 9 days is a lot of time. So you get back home and you fly back home, and I'm sure gotta watch Aussie this season rocks. KP, maybe I'll look it up, man. If there's an easy way to view it, let me know. My problem is trying to find these episodes. But anyway, just getting back to what you were saying, Sam, I think when you fly home, like everybody in these Survivor group chats are exchanging numbers. Like it's very easy to get in touch with people. I'm sure Rizzo had set up Sophie with D at some point, or at least let me rephrase that. I'm sure D and Sophie like message each other and we're like, hey, we're both like Latinas, we're both from the Miami area. So I had it backwards. Sophie would put in the good word for Rizzo and would set Rizzo up with D. So I think that's definitely a possibility. I'd be really surprised if that wasn't the case. These two.
Yeah, and I could be totally off base, but I was kind of under the impression that they knew each other pre-Sophie being on Survivor. Again, I could be totally off base with that, but
what would just with
Sophie
meeting through the community? Oh, you're saying they knew each other before?
Because they're both from Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe. A lot of these pregame alliances are pretty strong, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're pregaming in just a 7-day period. Like, hey, my girl D is cool.
And I mean, a lot of the people getting voted out early are the people without the pregame alliances.
Yeah, true.
Mike White and Angelina, I think, were
my boy Q, R.I.P.
Q definitely did so much pregaming.
Did he?
I'd be shocked if he didn't.
It just seems like the guy who plays a fair and honest game, man. He wouldn't ever do anything illegitimate, in my opinion. I love Q.
It's not illegitimate. I just think he pre-gamed hard.
Well, yeah. Speaking of your pregame, I never really thought about it, but you're probably spot on about Rizzo and D. I would assume, now that I think about it more, that those two would have known about each other before the game started and just keep it low key. Don't even mention it. Well, one thing I did want to talk about, I had it kind of towards the top of my list here tonight, is the Aubrey and Genevieve beef. It has not come to a fruition yet, but it is just bubbling and bubbling and bubbling more every single episode. And they hint at it over and over and over again, to the point where Aubrey said tonight, she doesn't even want me on the same island as her. So there's clearly not enough room for both of them on the same island. I think the first time those two go to tribal, we're seeing what happened with Rizzo and Charlie tonight, where they were just butting heads. I would assume you probably think the same thing, just because that's all they've talked about. Who do you think is coming out on top, though?
So yeah, I do definitely agree that's coming. It's also a very one-sided beef, and I'm hoping that it kind of mirrors the Rizzo Charlie one-sided beef where the person who hates the other person and the other person's just kind of like, okay, this person exists. I'm hoping that Jen takes out Aubrey, but we'll see. Because Aubrey does have the idol.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, especially the fact
She
that
does,
like
and I am worried about her making inroads with Coach. Coach is in a really good standing in his tribe, and just overall I think in a merge, not to get it in my head or ahead of myself with the longevity rankings. I don't know if Coach will necessarily win. I'd be shocked if he's out. Even I think he's going to go at least deep into the merge.
yeah, I think you're right about that, dude. Everybody's gonna want to work with him. I mean, nobody's gonna want to target Coach early at the merge. That's totally where you like take out the Ozzy, the Christian archetype. Even someone like Steph is vulnerable at a merge. You want to just take out someone strong or like very, very strategically smart at the merge. Or you just want to take out someone who's not going to have a lot of people sticking up for them. And that's where you lose potentially someone like a D. Just, hey, there's a winner. Let's just take out the winner. No sweat on anybody's back. Who's going to stick up for her? Rizzo? Tiff? I mean, who's sticking up for D? Really? Like,
Yeah, I think D's gonna either a swap casualty or early merge. She hasn't had too much of an edit. Half of her content has been crying about Zach Brown.
yeah, I get those mixed up
So
too, dude. Zach Brown, Luke Bryan. Sorry,
yeah,
uh,
whatever.
yeah, I get those mixed up too. Don't sweat it. I did see something in the chat here I want to bring up real quick because we asked about it. Thank you, KP. Jeff said at the preview that next week is going to change the game forever. They merge, and then there's some wild vote thing they're hinting at that's never been done. Yeah, I wonder what that could be. I really wonder what that could be. You think we're going to get Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast coming in?
It could so something that they have done in like the Australian Survivor is usually when they do this type of vote, they send them to Redemption Island, but they have done votes in the past where they vote and the top three people get voted out. So they could do something like that where I don't
Oh,
think it'll be
mass
three. I
casualty.
could see though where they merge everyone and then the two people who get the most votes get voted out.
That would be fun. I would really enjoy that. I don't think we've ever had something like that on American Survivor where you have like the highest 2 or 3 vote count people get eliminated. I've always like called for that. I've wanted to see something like that. I'm just an agent of chaos though, so more chaotic gameplay and mechanics appeal to me. I think that's a really good idea, especially like what was that, day 13 or something like that today? I think we're like not even halfway through the game yet. So we have 17 players left on the cast, and you're not even halfway through. You're gonna have to start having double eliminations or mass casualty events. So like that would make a lot of sense. I would actually thoroughly enjoy that, especially if like we said earlier, it's a giga tribal council where you have all 17 people there and it's just pure chaos, certainly a live tribal, and it's like you just want to survive and not be the top 3 vote getters. And I mean, that's like the best time to ever use an idol. So I'm sure Ozzy, Rizzo, and Aubrey are popping their idols. Yeah, that would be really fun. I could see that changing the game forever.
Yeah, and I think we probably maybe for that one get one person big and then kind of maybe some fodder like Tiffany or Chrissy who haven't gotten any content, or maybe it's just those two people who haven't gotten any content for that.
Yeah, it could be. It could be like a product of the editing. I think that's a good point. This show is certainly one where you got to read the edit, and I think you can tell a lot from it. And I always like to take hints from the edit here. Couple other comments I want to highlight real quick. We asked Sam earlier about this in the chat. Thank you for going to Google for us. According to Google AI about Japanese knighting, the ritual, the individual would receive a formal adult haircut and change their clothes to adult attire. That would be very fun if Coach tried to cut his hair. Tried to cut like he knights Jonathan and tries to cut Jonathan's hair. That'd be real fun.
Cutting Colby's hair.
And then there was one more I wanted to highlight. KP, Sophie, and D were friends before, so that goes with your theory here, Sam. And then KP also, the Oakbound Warrior was injured 5 minutes after his knighting. Embarrassing. I think he was injured before that, just to be fair. I think he was injured in the challenge the previous episode.
I think he might have just hurt his scalp got nicked when Coach was cutting his hair and having him change into the adult attire.
Yeah, it's a good distraction from the head banging injury in the challenge here. And then amongst the animals, I don't think Aubrey knows about that, but she was correct in picking up weird vibes from Genevieve. Doesn't know about what specifically, about the like Genevieve being in the alliance or like Genevieve having found the Billie Eilish idols. Amongst the animals, you could elaborate. I'm curious what you're getting at here because I'm very fascinated with this Aubrey Genevieve beef. I want to go beef. I want to go back to what I said earlier about them. There's no doubt it's coming to a head here, so maybe that's a big theme of this mega tribal council that we're heading into. I would imagine if every single person's vulnerable and like the top 3 vote getters are at risk, Aubrey's going to immediately play her idol. She's not going to walk out of the game after Edge of Extinction where she went home with an idol in her pocket. I think she's totally going to play her idol. So that could be a big problem for Genevieve, especially if Aubrey is organizing a charge against Genevieve and like has Coach's alliance. I mean, Coach has a lot of sway. I think her extending a branch to Coach and Coach taking that branch was a pretty big deal. Like they show that for a reason. So that could be something that comes back in the next episode or in the merge. Who knows? I don't know if Aubrey's going far in this game, but I feel like her story is built around Genevieve and just like the two of them being the same archetype. Man, how crazy is it that Aubrey was the alternate for Amanda Kimmel? And then Amanda sees Ozzy's face on the island and is like, take me home.
Like, I would have loved to have Amanda on this
Same. Nothing against Aubrey, but I've been waiting for Amanda Kimmel.
I was pissed off too when I heard about that. I'm like, really, we need Ozzy for what, the 5th time over Amanda, but then actually Ozzy's bringing it this season.
Yeah, he's bringing it.
I love the Coach and Ozzy beef.
Oh God, dude! When they were standing on the dock for that one challenge, and they're all like mourning Kyle, and then Coach is just like, "Well, my back hurts too." It's just so funny, dude.
And Rizzo was more not that it was a competition, but he was mourning Kyle the most because he was the brother that Rizzo never had.
Yeah, that's a good lie, man. Camilla saw right through it. That's a good lie. Quick follow-up from amongst the animals. Thank you for elaborating on this. It didn't send my first message, which was talking about Genevieve leading the charge and going through Aubrey's stuff. Very good point. Maybe, I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff we don't see on the edit, so maybe Aubrey did get that information back to her. But yeah, I mean, amongst the animals here, Aubrey is just messier. I think you're right, man. Genevieve is smooth with it. Like, Genevieve is very calm and collected, and the Mother Vive fan base on Twitter, X, and Blue Sky are going to lose their minds if she gets eliminated via Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol after finding 2 of them and not being able to play it herself. That's just crazy. I think in this beef, I side with Genevieve. I would much rather see her come out of this than Aubrey, but I think Aubrey is probably going to come out on top. She's getting the better edit, I think.
I'd say I would have said Genevieve before. This episode was definitely a big in Aubrey's favor with getting in with Coach. And then she also has, obviously, Christian, it seems like, kind of wants to work with her, and Devins was part of that. Which okay, so edit wise, what are you thinking of Rick Devens' edit? I'm
I love
curious.
Rick, man. I don't know what to make of him though, because he had a quiet episode. I think he had 0 confessionals last week, right? Um, that's not good. I don't think any of the new era winners have had 0 confessionals in an episode since Erica. Um, so that takes away his winner's edit vibe from me. I was saying he had a winner's edit after like episode 2 or 3 this season. I think he's probably going far, or he's just going to be one of these merge boots. But man, he's really freaking brought it. I think he was an alternate also. I'm not sure how that worked out, but I did see in pregame press he said he was an alternate for this season. Not sure if we
Yeah.
lost someone or what.
I think on I was listening to an RHAP podcast and they were kind of theorized that he was an alternate and probably they were thinking Aubrey was probably an alternate. And then when they decided to bring in Rizzo and Savannah, they're like, we're just going to make the cast bigger and then just put the alternates on. That's what they were
Oh,
theorizing, which would
so
kind of
then
make
what's the Amanda
sense.
Kimmel story then? I thought she replaced Amanda because Amanda backed out because of
I think
Ozzy.
she did. I don't think she was necessarily an alternate. I am not. I don't know, but I know
Maybe
they
another female
theorized
was an
that
alternate.
at
Maybe
least
like
Devin,
Tiffany was an alternate. I could see Tiffany being
maybe.
an alternate.
Yeah.
But I know Davey Rickenbacker was an alternate, and that kills me because Davey's one of my favorite
I,
characters of all time, and I love Davey. I would have loved to see him on this episode, on this season. He would have been great, man. He brings it.
yeah, I'm
We need
surprised
more
that
blurs,
I'm
truly.
surprised they didn't put him on. I guess maybe they thought too many David Goliaths, but I feel like
That's
they've
probably what
had.
it was. Yeah, they didn't want to like quadruple down on one season. I
And
mean,
obviously, you're gonna have Christian. You're gonna have Angelina. I think Davey's a better character than Mike
yeah,
White, but if
me
Mike
too.
White wants to play, I get with how big White Lotus is, I get why they would cast him.
Yeah, they got to use clips from White Lotus, man. That's a big deal. That's a pretty big deal. It's a big crossover. All right, one thing I wrote on my list that I really wanted to bring up: Rizzo. That man knows how to pick a good place to sleep. You see the way he was positioned up in that little boat?
I did not notice that. No.
Oh, when Charlie woke him up in the morning, when Charlie was like steaming, Charlie woke him up. Rizzo was like asleep in the boat and he was laid sideways and he had like one leg up on like the seat part of the boat. And it looked really, really comfortable compared to what most people sleep on. Like most people just lay in the sand or like lay on the bamboo or something. But Rizzo claimed it's his like boat. He's like, yeah, I was in my boat sleeping. And then Charlie came over and woke me up, clearly still salty about whatever. And he was like lying to my face about Jonathan. Just honestly sloppy gameplay from Charlie. But man, I was hoping you recognized Rizzo's sleeping position
I
there.
did not notice that part, but
The Riz boat.
Chris boat.
Yeah. What did you? Oh, okay. I missed the chat here. Penner was supposed to be in Devin's spot. That makes
Damn.
sense.
Penner would have been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder. Did they cut Penner and put Devins in, or did Penner drop? Because
I,
Penner is just
I
Penner
thought I
always
saw
brings it, man.
Penner say he wanted to be on the season, so
More things in chat I want to bring up. Anyone think it was wild that Christian was so shocked Ozzy would be pissed off? Christian's calling him a baby or something most players would be pissed off about. I would be pissed too, man. I'm spiteful. I
also
hate to say it.
it's like, have you seen Ozzy seasons before? Obviously, he's going to be pissed off. He's just pissed off at coach for not even agreeing to let him win a challenge.
Yeah, man. Ozzy's a wild card when it comes to that. And I think Christian did a really good job of like identifying the whole Cochran thing. And then they literally had that camera shot of like him in the same angle as Cochran talking to Ozzy. So that was funny to me. But yeah, you think Christian would be smarter than that, man. Like I guess Ozzy himself said he would have blown up the vote if he did find out about it early. So maybe it was the right move, but the damage control was rough. I don't
I
know how you
will
fix that.
I will say I think you got to take that with a grain of salt that he would have blown up the vote. He very well might have because he was obviously close to Mike, but he was also saying that when he was pissed off at Christian. So I don't think we can for sure say Ozzy would have blown up the vote, but I mean, he might have. He did say he would, and Christian thought he would. So
what could he have realistically done then? Just because they had the numbers, I guess it would have been 3-3.
he could have voted out Ozzy.
3-3. So it would have been Rocks. I don't know. I mean, Ozzy can only play the idol for himself, so he couldn't use the idol to save Mike. I don't know. Maybe it just would have been. Maybe it would have been a situation where like he just goes to Stephanie and is like, "I'm not budging. If you don't want to go to Rocks, vote for Emily." So maybe that's what it would have been. That's kind of the only situation I can think of. I know Steph wouldn't want to go to Rocks. Steph's just trying to stay alive. She'd want to work with Ozzy. Devins had a fart. Yep, that was a hell of a fart. I respect the fart. I'm a classic slapstick comedy guy. I think poops and farts are funny. That's why I liked Sage last season. So quality fart. Nick just sides with Genevieve because she's a pretty lady. Genevieve, very beautiful. Yes, indeed. I agree. Purple Tiffany. Yeah, man. Where has she been? Where has she been? I don't know. Merge boot, maybe? Just mass casualty?
I don't even think I feel like the merge boot has a little more of an edit than what she's gotten. I think she's going to be shortly after the merge, or possibly, like I said, if they have some sort of twist where they're like possibly next week.
I just she had to be the alternate. Like, what has she done to? This is such a coveted season, man. Like, you have so many incredible characters that didn't make this cast. Like Carolyn from the New Era, for example. Like, what? Why is Tiffany in here? She had to be an alternate. Like,
that's a difference. She just pissed off production, I think.
For what? Going on the Traders? Like, really? That's all it takes to not be on the show? Why?
I think she probably ran her mouth too. I don't know.
See, I don't follow a ton of the post game stuff.
That's just my guess.
Yeah,
I don't think it could be that much. I don't know. I think she pissed people off, and I think Tiffany was mostly cast to butt heads with Q, and then when that didn't happen, she just hadn't gotten an edit. So
I see a very funny comment I want to highlight here. Did anyone see how Charlie was wearing his buff at Tribal? Worst way to wear a buff ever. I agree. I'm going to try to replicate it.
And I was going to put on a buff and try to tie it like that, but I didn't know exactly how he did it.
It was like this for Amongst the Animals, asking in chat, how was it worn? It was like this, but mine doesn't look as cute as Charlie's did. Charlie's looked very feminine and like cutesy. Almost like a perfectly tied bow. I'm sure he spent a lot of time on it, but it looks something like this. I have a stack of I'm a buff collector, so I got a stack of buffs. These are the 2 season 40 buffs from like the vintage, or not the vintage collection, sorry, the every season collection or whatever. But yeah, it was like a little, what is it, like 1950s style, like, I'm doing a terrible job. It looked like this. Like wrapped around his neck. Very feminine.
That was the gist of it.
I'm like shout
out to Bob Crowley for the bow tie.
Yeah, the bow tie buff.
That was an iconic one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to rock this the rest of the episode, man. If I can breathe with it. Oh, never mind. Anyway, let's go through the rest of the episode. Colby had an injured foot and an injured head, so he sits out of the challenge. Doesn't matter. They still win. He recognized it. I can take a rest here. I don't need to participate. We got this.
You got the Tide Walker and the what was it? The Stone Bell Monk.
Yeah.
You don't need the Oakbound Warrior.
Yeah. And then the new group on the other tribe was Rizzo, Suri, D, Camilla. They obviously voted together. Please only call them by their warrior nicknames. I think they're not called the Warrior Alliance. I think they're the Zen Alliance. So KP, let's check your alliance name here. Amongst the Animals, great point. Makes me think of an airline stewardess. That's a perfect reference. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Charlie light in the loafers a little bit. Carolyn and Carson started a podcast and gave a bunch of info that was supposed to be behind a non-disclosure agreement. Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
I knew it had to be something more than just going on the traders. They're not gonna
Oh.
not cast you because of that.
Wow, man, I need to keep up with my lore here. And then Zen nicknames. Sorry. Thank you very much. Appreciate the apology there. Don't ever disrespect the Tidewalker. I had to double check my names in my notes to get that right. I almost said Dragon Slayer. Yeah, the chat here is popping off. It's hard to keep up here. It does seem delusional to think anyone wouldn't hold grudges. Uncharacteristically low IQ take from Christian. Yeah, man. I mean, you got to do better damage control. I'm
He's
sure
just been too much of a game bot.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
he
don't think he
expected the
expected
grudge.
Mike and Angelina to be pissed at him either for voting them out.
Yeah, I think he's friends enough with them outside that he figured they would get over it.
Not anymore. If you've been paying attention to that,
dude, I need to keep up, man. I saw Mike was
not
like
happy
mad
with him.
Are they really?
No, yeah, they're pissed off.
Damn, dude, maybe Christian goes on a run though. That'd be fun, man. Scorches everyone and becomes a villain. Goes from America's favorite David to the biggest villain in season 50. That'd be awesome. It'd be quite the story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ever. I think he could cut anyone's throat, but he's just charismatic, and I think the general audience is gonna love him no matter what he does.
He's got the winner's edit so far. Has anyone gotten a better edit than him?
I'd say he has the best one. This episode, I'd say, dinged him a little with all the Ozzy stuff, as we discussed. With he should have been more aware that Ozzy would be pissed off, and he kind of put. I feel like for jury management, that's not a great sign that he kind of disregarded Ozzy's feelings, where people are gonna be pissed. And if I were him, I'd be like, that's someone I don't want on the jury if he's gonna act like that.
Yep. Yeah, you want to cut him with this mergatory thing, but hey, man, he's got an idol. What can you do? He's going to save himself potentially if there's a mass casualty situation. I would play my idol. So we go to the what's the tribe with Rizzo and Orange? I think they are. So Rizzo makes a move that seemed like a good move in the moment, but Camilla is too smart to make this work. Where he lied to her about Kyle. She sees right through it, but feeds his ego and plays with it like, oh, yeah, I love Kyle. That's a great thing to note. Okay, we should work together. Yeah. And secretly, she's just thinking to herself, like, this kid thinks I'm an idiot. Do you think that was a good idea to lie to her about that?
I think he probably hammed it up too much. If obviously she caught it. It seemed like he was kind of in a majority alliance with Kyle. I don't know how close he was with him. I feel like Kyle even might have said he was pretty close with Rizzo. So I think
that original tribe, it seemed like it was Stephanie, Kyle, Colby, Q, and who was the fifth? They had a fifth.
Genevieve,
that's right. So Rizzo was on the outs over there. Maybe him and Kyle were tight though. We'll never know, I guess. Maybe we'll find out post game.
But yeah, in his exit interviews, I think he did say that him and Q and Rizzo kind of had a side three.
Okay, like a new era guys thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kyle was kind of in the middle of everyone, and it seemed like Angelina and Aubrey were the two on the
outs there. Yeah, man, such a shame about Kyle. He would have been so good in the season.
Yeah.
Chat, if anybody can check us on that, let us know if Kyle and Rizzo were working together. I'm curious if that's true or not. What'd you think of the whole shot in the dark situation with Ozzy and Christian? Like, was that truly what swung Ozzy over to Christian's side tonight?
I think it might have. I honestly would have just given it to him right away. It's not like the shot in the dark is this powerful advantage. You lose your vote and you get a 1 in 6 chance of safety.
I mean, if you're in a Caleb situation, that's all you can do. And I don't think Christian was in a Caleb situation because he has Emily no matter what. So at least you got one vote and you just need 3rd, and you built that trust with Stephanie over the past few days, where it's like we voted together a couple times now. Just stay with us one more round. So I think he's just trying to, like you said, do some jury management, win Ozzy back over, like bring him back in and show him, hey man, you don't have to hate me. We can actually do this together. I don't know. I just thought it was bold to give up your shot in the dark, but maybe that was the only way that like Ozzy wouldn't freak out. One more thing to highlight. Kyle and Rizzo were on the same side, but not nearly as close as Rizzo made it seem. Rizzo was like a loose 4th. Okay, so that makes sense. LOL, no, he admitted he wasn't close with Kyle, but I think it was still a slick move, and he can pull it off. Well, we'll see. I mean, he's got an idol, so worst case scenario, he goes into this like mega situation where there's 15 people at tribal all at once, and you just play your idol and you're safe for one round, and then you just cruise into the merge.
Rizzo's not going to play his idol. He doesn't play.
Good point. Good point. We did. We did get a hint from Camilla that her red flag is up for Rizzo, so she's working with him for this vote. But that might have been a warning sign for her, like, hey, this kid's sneaky. My voice just cracked a little bit there. Let me water up before we get into our rankings here. So I want to ask: do you think Cirie and Rizzo are going to stick together?
I think so.
Yeah, she's the only, he's the only person
like
she told.
Likes him now.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a Colby thing. I don't think she liked him at first, and Rizzo's just winning everybody over.
What is it about Rizzo that everyone just like hates him at first and then decides, okay, this kid's not that bad? Like what is it about him, man? Does he just have like a charm that we can't see through a screen?
He's got the Rizzo charm.
Lying about Kyle, saying he called him his younger brother he never had is very bold. I agree with you, Sam Clark. That is a very bold thing to do because, I mean, that could easily come back to haunt you, especially if Camilla takes that the wrong way, which I don't think she took it the wrong way, but I mean, that's the type of thing that like raised the red flag for her. Just wanted to highlight that before we talk more about Cirie. So Cirie said the old version of Cirie would have just pounced on that information and took this kid out immediately. Are we seeing a more reformed Cirie now that she has like played a few reality games, won some? Like, is this a more mature, reformed Cirie, or is she just like, I'm so far on the bottom, I need allies. This is an olive branch. I got to take it.
I think it's probably a little of that, and then also, I mean, she already has a big enough target on her back. She doesn't need to be making flashy moves. She just needs to get to the end. I'm sure she views Rizzo as someone she could beat at the end, so she probably wouldn't mind sitting at the end next to him, which honestly, she could beat anyone at the end, I'm sure.
Probably.
If Cirie gets to the end, I don't think any jury is not going to vote for her. Just
maybe Christian.
I don't know. I think Cirie just has the lifetime achievement where even if she played a terrible game, people are just going to vote for her just because she's done so much in her.
I mean, dude, everyone who talks to her loves her. It's impossible to not love her. Like, people are literally saying, D, I think has said it, Jonathan has said it, and have said, I can't work with her, but I want to.
Yeah, and well, D went from a couple episodes ago, D and Jonathan and a bunch of them were talking about voting her out, and then she was nowhere near the chopping block.
Did that tribe not go to tribal?
Today they went.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it was just a Charlie versus Rizzo thing. Like, it had to be that.
But I think a couple episodes ago, D was talking about wanting to target Cirie.
Well, maybe they're hinting at something, man. Maybe they link up. I wouldn't be surprised. I think I saw pictures of them on social media together, but that could have just been like one of those Survivor events where everyone's taking pictures with everyone. I got to check Rizzo's Instagram, but I'm pretty sure he made a post honoring Cirie. So there's got to be something there, dude.
Yeah, well, that was the one where, because in the episode, he brought up that he met Cirie, and then he posted the picture.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so maybe I'm looking too much into it then. But it seems like they're a duo now.
I think they're going to work together.
Yeah. I want to get into something. I got to find the chat here. There's some funny comments in the chat here. I want to pull up this one from Mike Trombetta. Can production hire someone to throw a shoe at Jeff when he starts rapping or singing or impersonating people? Mike, I'm with you on the rapping and singing, but I actually found the impersonations kind of funny tonight. I like them.
I thought they were pretty good.
I didn't mind the impersonations. I thought the Colby one was spot on. The Christian one was a little bad. That was kind of forced. Christian didn't look happy with that one, in my opinion. He kind of
that's what made it funny to me was Christian's reaction to that.
Christian did seem a little uncomfortable. And
They
then who was the other one he did? Jonathan, I think it was. He was
Jonathan,
like, Mr. Jeff. Yeah, that one was all right. The impressions, I don't mind as much. The rapping and singing, dude, throw every shoe you got at Jeff. Enough of that stuff. No more musical stuff, man, please. Just cut the music, Jeff. If you want music, bring on real celebrities, Zach Brown, people who are real musicians. So, Mike, thank you for that comment there. Anything else you want to mention about Tribal? We had Angelina voted out 4-1. She gave her jacket to the tribe, full circle moment. That was pretty cool. Respect to you, Angelina. Great character. Funny to see you give up the jacket there. I actually appreciated that. I don't know. Anything else notable from that Tribal in your opinion?
Not really. I mean, it kind of felt like pretty obvious boot. They weren't going to vote out Christian. He's had too strong of an edit.
And then we had Charlie voted out 4-3. We mentioned it was the three girls that voted with Rizzo there. So that means the three boys, Devin, Charlie, and Jonathan left out of the vote there. Interesting. Rizzo's got control of that tribe, but they might be switching it up next week. So who knows? Didn't have to use his idol tonight. Good for Rizzo. Charlie, when he got his torch snuffed, dropped a Taylor Swift line. So
I'm
credit
sure
to him.
that.
Credit for him to keeping his shtick together till the very end. But he did. I don't know if you watched the very end when he was like giving his final words, but he like put his hand in his head and started crying. So I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's hard to say you wouldn't do the same thing, man, if you just got your dream crushed like that. But he got alphaed by Rizzo. That's a hard pill to swallow, man. That's a tough spot to be in. For the rest of his life, he's gonna have to think about Rizzo taking him out and then Maria not giving him the vote for $1 million. So poor kid.
Yeah.
All right. Let's Charlie crying, what a silly little dork. How about Rizzo's voting confessional? That was a power move. I agree with you.
Yeah, he was dropping Taylor Swift in his voting confessional.
I didn't like him till today. His Riz got me seeing how he reacted to Suri taking him seriously. He seemed in awe. It made me like him. Yeah, Rizzo's growing on me too. My wife hates Rizzo, but she actually like said in the episode today, like he's growing on me or something. I gotta ask her what she said. It was something like he's growing on me, or I think she said he's not as bad this season. So I'll get clarity on that. Then seeing him pull off the Charlie vote, just a great episode. You're right, Rizzo did have a pretty strong episode today. He had a good showing. Do y'all think Taylor Swift has any inkling about who Charlie is? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say someone on her team probably showed her a snippet or a clip of him on social media at some point, and then she probably looked at it and was like, oh, that's cool, and that's probably the extent of it. But I wouldn't be surprised if in her brain she knows, like, oh, there was some kid on Survivor who loves me, but maybe can't name drop him. And I highly doubt she has the time in her life available to like watch TV shows. She seems like a very busy person.
Yeah, I that's more credit than I would have given. I would guess she just doesn't even know who he is. But
Yeah,
maybe
she's more worried about Donna Kelsey's windows.
Yeah, maybe she was and rigging the NFL so the Ravens lose. But
don't get me started on that, man. Please, dude. I'll rant too much about it. All right, Sam Clark, you're gonna get your wish here. My 2- and 4-year-old daughters won't eat their dinner until they have some longevity rankings to go along with it. Please, boys, I'm begging. Yes, sir. You will get your wish here. I want your daughters to be able to go to bed. So let's get to it. We have some talking to do about our longevity rankings. Sam, I'm going to let you lead this for the most part since you're the newest host here on the show. Let's start. You want to start from the top or the bottom?
So this is based off of, is this winning or just how far we think they're going to go?
Just like if they're going to make a deep run on the season. We could base it on winner quality. It's kind of subjective, whatever you're thinking, really. We originally started it out episode by episode, but we got some great feedback. I think Sam Clark in the chat gave us a lot of input in the post-show comments about how we should do these rankings. So we switched it to basically longevity, how far you think, like their odds of making it deep into the season. Maybe not necessarily winner potential, but like just making it deep, far past the merge.
All right. I'd say I'd put Tiffany 17.
Okay. Lower than Genevieve, potentially?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
I'd say. I mean, she could go farther than Genevieve, but
it's been quiet, though.
She's not going to do anything in the season. I guess Genevieve or Aubrey, that is coming to a head at some point, but...
Do you think there's a potential like Erica Winters edit with Tiffany where she's going to get nothing in the pre-merge and then just skyrocket in the post-merge all the way to the top?
I don't think so, but okay. I don't know. I didn't have Erica winning, so but Tiffany and Chrissy are the two where.
Yep, I was going to have Chrissy at my 17, but
I would just put the reason I would put Chrissy ahead of Tiffany is because she's in with Coach, so I think that gives her a little more wiggle room, which I don't know I forget who's on her tribe if she is with Coach, because he can go to tribal, so I think she's fine.
She hasn't had much content aside from her mastectomy talk and her just kind of like character growth of like I need to be more or less of a mother figure here. I don't know. Chat, give us your thoughts here. If y'all have any input, let us know. 15, what are you thinking? Is this Genevieve territory or is she better off?
I'm going to try to push Genevieve up. I'm trying to think who else is towards the bottom.
Yeah, I'm searching the cast list right now just so we have everybody. I might be putting D, Camilla in this territory.
Yeah, they did just kind of have a decent episode. Honestly, it might be Jen. Yeah, I do want her to go far, but
she hasn't had a lot of content, unfortunately. Are we going Camilla D range?
Today, so I don't know. Yeah, we can put them. They're kind of in the same boat. Not a ton of content.
Okay. So now we're kind of into this like muddy water where everyone's around the same spot. It's kind of like pulling hairs here.
I'd say Jonathan.
Yeah, we're getting closer to that.
He could actually.
We're getting closer to that merge territory where he's like
I'm told you I'm gonna push up Genevieve. Let's put Jonathan 15, Genevieve 12. Because I do think there's a chance that Genevieve could come out on top against Aubrey.
Okay. You're in the driver's seat tonight. I like it. I think Jonathan's at like the highest possible danger level at the very start of the merge, like that mergatory area. He is just a clear candidate to get voted out there. If he can survive that, he's probably going deep because people are going to look at him and be like, that's not a strategist. I can beat him at Final Tribal Council. So if he can push past that part, I think he's good for a long run. In the 10-11 range, I'm going to suggest a couple names here. I'm going to suggest Emily, and then I'm going to suggest Rizzo as well. I'm not sure how either of them are faring. Maybe Rizzo could go deep. He does have an idol.
I think Rizzo's going deep. I'm totally on board.
So then who do we have in the 10 spot then? Would that be maybe Steph potentially. Let's see if chat here.
Yeah, I'm
Just checking it with chat. Camilla Lowe. All women in the bottom 4. Reality aftermath and reality after misogyny. Oh no, I didn't think about that.
Hey, I did put Jonathan down there, so
Thank you for correcting us there. We have righted our wrong there. Nothing against the women on
we
this
could put
season. Emily is not
Steph.
long for this game. I don't think she freaks out anytime anything happens. Among the animals, that's a great point. That could also be a great reason to take her far because she is just like gonna burn bridges on the jury and just like make a bad impression on people. Very good point to bring up though. That could put Emily in danger. Saving face by flipping Jonathan down there. Steph going far. I kind of agree with you. I could see her going far and just like not having any winner equity at the end and then being like a 0 vote finalist. So that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think she has any winner equity, so
maybe we have her outside of the 10 there.
Yeah, I'd put her there.
Someone in chat says Joe at 10. That's not a bad spot to put Joe.
Joe's not. Yeah, we could put Joe there. On it. Yeah, I don't know who's gotten more content.
The other person I would argue at 10 is potentially Aubrey, but I don't want to just stack the women on the right side. So yeah, Joe at 10. If you're okay with that, you're driving tonight. Suri, maybe Aubrey. Dare I say the Tidewalker? Let's jump to the top. Who do you think has the most chance, the best chance to go deep?
I'd put Christian up there.
I like that. I think he's got
I think he's just the easy one. I'm trying to think who else.
Tidewalker?
I have him up there. Rizzo's up there for me.
Okay. Would you put Rizzo too?
Let's put Tidewalker.
Chat from KP, Christian, Rizzo, Suri, top 3. The Tidewalker. Who did you have at 3 there? Was it Rizzo? Is that who you said?
I'd put Rizzo.
Okay.
I could see, yeah, because I think Rizzo's in the long run, especially now.
Okay. We're getting into the muddy waters, as I said earlier. Oh, very good point from Sam here. Y'all think that Colby injury talk was any sort of foreshadowing? Yes, I do.
That's a good point.
I do.
I throw him there at 9.
Yeah, I almost want to put him in the 10 spot over Joe, but that's okay. Suri, where you like Suri on this list? I'm starting to think she's getting a good edit.
Yeah, I thought she's gotten a good edit from there.
Are we confident with her at 4? That leaves us with like basically Steph. Let's see, Ozzy, Rick, and Aubrey in these last 4 spots somewhere. I don't know if I'm this high on Aubrey, but she doesn't have an idol.
I'm not that high on Aubrey either. I think Joe's gone far.
Okay.
I don't think he's got win equity, but I think he's
Joe 10. Or sorry, above 10. Colby 10. Joe 9. You want to put Joe any higher?
We don't need to.
Dev?
I don't know. Yeah, Devins, because I had asked you about that. He had a great edit. He was up there with Christian first couple episodes, and then since the swap, he hasn't been great. But the one thing I will say is he didn't go to tribal, and then today he did go to tribal and he voted wrong. So I think that does kind of give him a little, but we can give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt.
Aubrey at 8 feels reasonable from KP. We have Devins can switch with Jen. Ozzy somewhere 6 to 8 with Devins. Ozzy 8, Suri 4. Pretty good input from the chat tonight. How are you feeling about this list before we finalize it, Sam? Is there anything you'd switch up?
I don't know what I would switch up. The thing is, Ozzy and Coach, Ozzy and Coach, that's the other thing that's coming to a head. Christian and Ozzy, I think, might come to a head too. So we do have a lot of those people high up, where one of them's gonna fall short. Genevieve could go with Genevieve and Aubrey. It could be either one could go far.
So you got a lot of fans in the chat. Just saying, the chat is loving your rankings tonight. People, they're adamant about Genevieve being higher. I think we might have to swap her with Colby. I mean, Colby's injury is a big deal, man.
Oh, yeah, I'd put her ahead.
The problem is she's being targeted, and Aubrey has an idol and is blatantly targeting her. So she needs to survive one tribal against Aubrey, and then if that happens, she's going to skyrocket up for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my hesitation with Genevieve.
Episode, but she also didn't go to tribal, so she wasn't gonna get much.
I feel pretty good about this list. I love Christian's odds. I love Coach's odds. I love Rizzo's odds. I love where Suri is in the game right now. Ozzy, if he survives the merge, I think he's going deep. Steph feels like she's going deep. 0 vote finalist, honestly.
I don't know. I could see Steph being kind of mid-merge fodder is more where I have her. Honestly, at this point, I think Rizzo and Suri might be in the finale.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. They seem to have a tight duo thing at this point going on. Just based on the edit we got tonight, that was certainly something they were foreshadowing. There's nobody on the right side.
I honestly might see those two going further than Christian, but Christian just has the most win equity, I would say.
Yeah,
because he's either gonna win or he's gonna be like, this was the winner's big move, was taking out Christian,
or like the fire-making loser, and that's the obstacle he couldn't get over.
That could be it too.
It could be the Jesse situation. Yeah, man, I like what we've done here. I don't think there's anybody on the right side I would argue too heavily against. I think Jonathan could, if he survives the Mergatory, go deep just because he's a challenge beast and he has no strategy. So that's like very appealing to take someone like that to the end. I don't think Diaz has a shot in hell to win this game. I don't think Chrissy has a shot in hell to win this game. Tiffany, I'd be shocked. Camilla could win. Emily, maybe. I don't know. Amongst the Animals made a good point about her chaoticness in the chat here.
Yeah, I don't see her winning. Genevieve could win. That's why I don't want her.
She got to slay Aubrey to make that happen, and that's going to be a tough ask. That's a tough ask. I think we lock this in. If you're good with it.
Yeah, I'm fine. Like, Jen does have more win equity, but then I don't know if I'm more confident in Joe going further than her.
And then a quick comment from Sam Clark. Daughters are demanding now y'all go through old rankings and see where the people who got voted out were ranked before they brushed their teeth. We can do that for you real quick. So last week, episode 4, we had Charlie and Angelina at the bottom. Look at that. Round of applause for Chase and Nick nailing that. We actually talked about it in the pod last week. We thought those two were toast just based on the previews and the edits. And we nailed that.
I think
Rizzo might...
I put one of those two in your little pool that
in our weekly pick'em game. Yeah,
I know I picked both of them on my team, and I picked one of them. I think maybe Angelina to go home.
Yeah, I set my lineup the next day. I was like locked in, ready to go as soon as that happened. So I feel good about that. I nailed Charlie on that one. I'm glad I got the points for that. So, I mean, as you can see here, we had Christian at the top of the rankings last week. We had Jonathan pretty high because we were thinking like he's never getting voted out pre-merge, and now we're kind of nearing the point where that's ending. So his risk level goes up. Pre-Tidewalker Coach was also top. Rick, I mean, look at us, man. Maybe we are a misogynistic podcast. It's 6 year all top men right here. And then Suri, just a line of women after that. So yeah, maybe we do need to check ourselves at the door a bit with the male skewing
Blame
here.
those Survivor editors.
Yeah, that's a
I'd
good point.
assume that the confessionals, if you looked at those charts, the women are probably towards the bottom of the confessionals.
That's a good point. It has been a very male-dominated season with confessionals. I don't know if that's intended or just the way the characters are working out here. Just want to highlight this. Jonathan has his allies in the Tidewalker and his warriors. I think we've dropped the term warriors and we're into like
Samurai.
Zen Japanese samurai territory. So maybe not necessarily warriors, like his samurai elements. Yeah, KP, the Zen Boys. Maybe that's what we call it, the Zen Boy Alliance. And then Sam with a round of applause. I think that was in relation to our misogyny correction there. So thank you for that. But yeah, this is a fun podcast, Sam. Thanks for joining me this week while Chase couldn't be here, man. I had a great time with you. We'll have to get you back on here at some point.
All right.
Maybe we can have a little.
Need me.
Yeah, maybe we can have a little three-way pod sometime, man. I don't know what your schedule is looking like, but I think you killed it tonight. I had a great time. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up before we wrap it up here?
Tomorrow night, watch Could Have Been Love and tune into Reality TV Aftermath to see Nick and the rest of the boys break it down.
Yeah, we're gonna grind through the rest of this painful season and watch this finale, and we're all hoping Perks wins.
Finale already?
Oh yeah, it's 7 episode season.
Okay,
not a lot of content.
I didn't realize that. I fell off a couple. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Episode 4 was the peak, and it's been a sharp downhill since then. It's been a little rough. Been bringing in a lot of random girls, and you're just kind of like, it's like a net neutral. You lose 2 and then you gain 2 from the club.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a tougher watch this season, but a lot of good laughs. We've been enjoying the season. So yeah, feel free to join us if you've been keeping up with Could Have Been Love. I think we'll be expanding the channel at some point, jumping into the Traders, jumping into potentially the Challenge, Love Island. We got a lot of shows we're looking into. So if you all have any suggestions, let me know. Maybe we'll get an Aussie Survivor crew together. That'd be fun. We can get the boys chatting about Aussie Survivor. I'd love to jump in on that. I think we have a few experts that we could refer to. So yeah, maybe if your boy Corey is interested.
Yeah. We'll see.
Oh, a quick one in the chat here. Jury Duty Company Retreat. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great show.
Please no spoilers. I'm only through 2 episodes right now. My wife and I are loving it. Yeah, that is a great show. I don't know if is the season finished with that one? Or
there's only 3 episodes so far.
Okay. So I'm like almost live then.
Yeah, you're basically because I just watched all 3 the other night, so it kind of they're all blurred together. I don't remember what happens in one episode, but
I just love Dougie.
It's Dougie
and the other Anthony. It's so funny.
Did he have his presentation in Europe? What you seen, or was that episode?
No,
3?
I think it's episode 3.
Okay, that one was good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. So yeah, good suggestion, Sam Clark. Jury Duty Company Retreat. Yeah, maybe we can have a little group get together for that. Maybe we'll pull in Sam Clark for that.
I like how Anthony is kind of fucking with them too. Like when were you there when? Are you at the point where the guy from the
realtors
came back?
Yeah.
So was that a turbo?
Yeah, that's a great show. That's a great scene, man. I love that show already. I've already cried laughing a couple times at that show. Yeah, I think we'll have to save that for like a separate Jury Duty Company Retreat podcast. So yeah, we'll save our thoughts for that.
Yeah, we can just do our own. Hire someone who thinks that they're on a podcast, but he doesn't realize that it's a fake podcast.
Yeah. Maybe your boy Corey can be set up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else Survivor related? You want to any bold predictions you want to make going into the next episode? I think I'm going to make a bold prediction. Sorry, I know I asked you that question, but I just want to make a bold prediction here real quick. I think we're getting a mass casualty event. I think we're going to get some type of a multi-person elimination. Fair or unfair, I think we're losing like 2 to 3 people. We need heads to roll.
Bold prediction. Trying to think.
You don't have to make one. I was just curious if you had anything off the top of the brain.
I'm gonna say that none of the boomerangs go back to the original owner. I don't know if that's a bold take, but
I don't think that's like unlikely. I could see a situation where if we get a mass casualties event, where like all 17 people are a tribal together and there's 2 or 3 people eliminated, like anybody who's got an advantage or an idol is gonna play it, dude. Like that's a big moment in the show. And I think KP said in the chat here, like Jeff said, it's going to change the show forever. So if that's like the level of rhetoric that we're using, I mean, that's indicative of a mass casualty event. So I could see all 3 boomerang idols getting played, and then there's just no one to receive it because there's no idol remaining. I don't know.
And also, with narratively, this could very well happen. Aubrey could idol out Genevieve, and then that's just all of them are done. So because she used hers and Jen found the 2. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's a very good point. And speaking of mass casualty, like that's the perfect type of thing for a Mr. Beast situation. I know Mr. Beast likes to have like crazy chaos and stuff. So maybe he comes in. My bold prediction last week was that we were going to get Mr. Beast coming in and offering the players like, you can step out of the game right now and your name gets entered in this box, and whichever name I pull out of the box, that person wins $100,000. But anybody who stepped out is eliminated. So maybe you get like 3 or 4 people volunteering to leave. Like D knows she's not going to win. Colby is hurt, so he steps out, you know. And then one of those people wins money, and the other person gets sent home with no dollars or whatever. That could be something. That'd be fun, or terrible. I don't know.
I mean. I'm sure the Mr. Beast episode is highly anticipated by everyone.
If he brings back fire tokens, I will get on board. I'm a big fire tokens fan personally. I know it's not a popular twist with the community, but I like the aspect of a currency in the game.
The Tony episode was great.
Oh yeah. So
I mean,
plus, like you could literally buy someone's vote. Like, hey, I'll give you 3 fire tokens. You can buy yourself some peanut butter. You vote with me. I like fire tokens. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they could workshop it, have it be better, but I think I wish they would have tried it a little more than they did, just because it was just the 1 season, right?
Yep, just the 1 season. Much better twist than Hourglass, much better twist than Outcasts. Yeah. Like there's been a lot of stuff.
Better than Hourglass. What about better or worse than the Medallion of Power?
I would say better than Medallion of Power, better than Super Idols, better than Edge of Extinction, better than not better than Redemption Island.
Better than Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol.
I think the Boomerang Idol as a concept is really cool. I just wish they didn't brand it that way. Like, is Billie Eilish even involved with the show? Has she tweeted or done anything? Like,
I think that they just wanted to use someone saying Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol so they could clip it and put it on the commercials.
And then get the Gen Z kids to tune in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think other twists. Fire making twist. Fake merge. What was that? Season 5?
That was Thailand.
Yeah. Exile Island. Yeah, I mean, I love fire tokens, man. I think I need to have a separate podcast just about all the twists of Survivor, man. We'll pull you in for that.
That's an off-season podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure Chase would love that too, man. We've already talked about having a podcast for the challenges. We're going to rank challenges. So yeah, we'll definitely get you more involved, man. It was fun to have you here. I think I covered everything I want to talk about. I think, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up here?
I'm good.
Apologies to Mike if I spoiled anything. Sorry, did not mean to do that. But yeah, thanks for your time here, Sam. Appreciate having you, man. Thanks for jumping in.
All right,
Thanks for a fun chat, everybody amongst the animals. Appreciate you. See you next week. Bye, everyone.